Hello, guys. Hello, and good evening. So, good evening. So, I'm going to wait for people to join the stream. So, if you are just coming in, you're welcome. If you can hear me, please let me know. If you can see me, please let me know. Okay? I just need somebody to please confirm so that we can just go straight into our tutorial for today. Okay. So, good evening, guys. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Okay. Samade Ojo, good evening. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Hmm. Please let me know. Okay. Kessie Fashion Clothier. Okay, I can hear you. Thank you so much for confirming. Okay, guys. So today, in today's live stream, you guys are welcome to today's live stream. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, Samade. Thank you so much. So yes. So what we're actually going to be doing today? Let me see if I can. I just tried using my phone. That's to just snap it from the other side. Let me see if I can get the picture to show you guys. Okay, so you can see. So this is what we're planning to make today. So it's a simple off shoulder top. So you understand. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to achieve this kind of boning on it. Okay, so we're going to do it. So let's go. So if there is chance or time, I can show you guys how to make the sleeve. Other than that, it's a simple sleeve. I can just explain it. Phoebe, you're welcome. Godwin, okay. Poby, you're welcome. Okay. Judith, thank you so much. Ibekwe, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, guys. So let's just get started straight. So you guys can already see we're making an off shoulder. So these are the fabrics I'm going to be making use of. So I've cut out my straps for my boning chambers. So I'm just going to keep it on the side, okay? And then we're going to draft straight into that. We're just going to do our drafting straight. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just trying to like adjust my camera a little bit, okay? Yes, so I'll make sure. Yes, thank you. Those of you that are giving me hearts, thank you so much. I appreciate. Yes, I appreciate you guys. Okay. Yes, so you can see the table. Okay. I'm looking for how best is it to place this. Is it like this or like this? Okay, so now let's get started. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do when making this kind of off shoulder pattern, let me use my curve. These ones are like. So the first thing we're going to do, let's draft out the back first and then we'll draft the front. Most of you, if you have been following me, you know what I normally do. I'll draft the front. I'll now use it to cut the back. It's somehow faster that way. I think we should do it that way. So let's draft the front and then use it. So my machine, this thing came up. So I'm just trying to like push it in. See what I'm doing. It came off. I poured oil on it earlier today. So somehow it's like the thing did not it did not enter properly. That it was not properly closed. Okay, so now let's continue with our work for today. Okay. Yes. Okay. So Linda, you're welcome. So the first thing I'm going to do now, so I'm trying to mark a straight line here. So like I said, let's draft the front. Before we cut out, we'll now use the front to draft the back. It's always faster that way and it's easier. Okay. So let's do it that way. So the first thing I'm doing, you can see I've added a like a startup line. Okay, so let me keep this one on the side for our back face. So this is a startup line. So when making this kind of off shoulder dress, there are some things that you put into consideration. How much drop you want to use. So for this kind, we're going to use like 6 inches drop. So you can see how I am placing my tape. So that straight line, that first line that I marked, I place my tape at 6. So you can use 5 inches, okay, and then you can use 6 inches. So the next thing I'm going to do now, after placing my tape like this, I'm going to mark my bust point. This is my bust point, the one that we normally call nipple point also. So that's what I'm going to mark. So for this case now, I'm going to mark 10 inches like this. So this is 10 inches for that nipple point. Then the next point is this point, which is the under box, bust. I say box. I'm going to mark 13. And then the next one is going to be the cut. If you notice, it's like a crop top, but just follow that crop. So if you are making like a half body, so that's like your half bodies, which is between 17 and 18 inches. Okay, so I'll mark it like this, and then I'll just use my this ruler now to connect all of those lines. That's just like mark all the lines. Okay, so today I'm using biro. I don't have marker. I just realized all my marker, I don't know what happened, whether they dried off, I don't know. I have about 3 markers here. None of them is writing. So I'll just mark. Yes, that's the. So I have to do it like this now to just to make it obvious. Okay. So now after marking now, all of you that are just joining us, you're welcome. So please let me know where you're watching me from. I would appreciate that. I always like that. So now we have added all of our lines. So let's label the line. So this first one we have here is our shoulder line. And then this one is our bust point line. This is our under bust line. And then this is our half cut line. Okay. So the next thing we are going to do is a simple bustier pattern. So the next thing we are going to do now, we're going to add our bust pan measurement. So that bust pan is what we are going to use to take our dart. So this is a bust pan. So you can see when you say bust pan, some people they normally call it like nipple to nipple. You understand? So for this, you can see I have. So you place your tape here and then take it here. You have about 8 inches. So that 8 inches, what I will do, I'll add 1 inch to it, and then it will be 9. So when I'm placing it on my fabric, I'll divide it like this into two, and then I'm going to have this. So I'll bring that here like this. Now I'm using 4.5, and then I'll mark that 4.5. I'll mark it across. So I'm using the exact pattern. So what I intend to be doing now on my live stream, when I have a style, I intend to be using the exact pattern that was used on the style. So because most times that's the best way. When a customer gives you cloth, or when you come across a style, it's always good for you to be able to read the pattern. You understand? It's not a big deal. So you now know, okay, this is the pattern they use, and that's what I will use. So this one, I'm using the exact pattern on that piece. So I think is what the pattern they use here is a neck dart, which is like the simplest pattern. So after adding all the 4.5, I'm going to join it like this with my straight ruler, okay? So when I join with my straight ruler, those of you that are just joining me, you're welcome. Yes, you're welcome. Please let me know in the comment section where you're watching me from. Okay, so after I'm marking that like this, after joining it, the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to come to our under bust part, and we're going to like take out our dart. So for the darts that I'm going to be using tonight for this, I'm going to use 2 inches dart. So I'll place it like this, and then I'm going to mark, just go mark 1 inch on both sides like this. Okay, I'll mark 1 inch here and then mark 1 inch there. So this 1 inch that I mark here now, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to mark it like this. I'm just trying to like elongate it. Okay, and then I'll take my pattern curve like this. I'll place that pattern curve, and then I'll just like create a curve. Can you see? And then after creating that curve to that side, I'm going to do the same thing to this side. So you can see how I am placing my pattern curve. If you don't have a pattern curve, you can use your free hand. So this that one did not is not setting properly. So let me see. Yes. Okay. Okay. So after marking it that way, I'm going to extend this dart downwards. So this dart, I'm just going to extend it like this down, and then I will extend this down also. Okay. So after extending the dart down like this, okay, next time I am coming to Naija, I will bring you some sharp one. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Samade Ojo, thank you. So the next thing now on this top part, all the markers, the issue that we have here. See how many markers that I have. Once you just open it once, before you know the thing is finished. That's the issue that I'm having. Before you know that there's another one that way. It's dried up. All of them they are dried up. So the next thing now come to this top part. They have all of them are almost fake markers. So I'll come to this top, I'll mark 1 inch here for my dart, and then on this side I'll use half of an inch. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'll mark off of an inch on that point, and then that half of an inch, here's what I'm going to do. So you can see I'm placing my pattern curve. So I'll place it in such a way that it will cut across that point like this, and then cut into this dart line like this. Okay. So, and then this one also. So what I'm going to do now, try to see if I can just use my marker to highlight it. I just pray that something is still inside. So let's see. Okay. Okay. So what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to like highlight them. Okay. 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 All right. So now the next thing we're going to do now, yes. Hello. Mazuba, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining. So the next thing now, I've already added our dart. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to take out our full body measurement, okay? So for the full body measurement, here is what we are going to do. We're going to come to this point now. So for those of you that have been joining my live classes, at this point, you should be able to draft and sew an off shoulder perfectly well, okay? Because if you people notice, I notice that a lot of you are struggling with off shoulder. So that is why you see I make lots of them on our live classes. So now we'll come to our shoulder measurement. So the shoulder measurement that I'm using for this, I'm going to be using 16 inches. So when you divide 16 into 2, I'm going to have 8 inches. So I'll mark that 8 inches here like this. Okay, I'm going to mark my 8 inches here, and then I'll just use like half of an inch for my allowance on this point. So the next thing I'm going to do now, from this point like this, I want to mark my armhole measurement. So I'll place this like this, and my armhole is 16. So when I have 16, you divide 16 into 2, you are going to have 8 inches. So I'll mark 8 inches. That's, you can see the tape like this, because you know we took out 6 inches from our measurement. So I'll mark it at that point. That's 8 inches. And then I'm going to connect this now. I'll just connect this now with a straight ruler like this. Okay. So I'll connect this with a straight ruler. And then after connecting it, I'm just going to create a curve like this, okay? So after creating the curve like this, the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to add our bust measurement. So our bust measurement is 36. So that 36, I'm going to divide that 36 into 4. I'll have 9. I'll mark 9 here. And then I'm going to add, because when I cut, I'm going to lose some little inches from there. So I'm just going to approximate that to like maybe half of an inch, okay? And then now from this point, I'll add my stitching allowance, which is 2 inches. Okay, so after adding that 2 inches, so I'm just trying to elongate my armhole. And then the next thing, I'll just do this. The next thing, I'll come to my under bust. So just extend that line to my bust point line, okay? And then I'll come to my under bust part. So on this under bust part, what I'm going to do on this under bust part, I'm going to come to this point like this. So my under bust measurement that I'm making use of is 30 inches. So that 30 divided by 4, I'm going to have 7.5. So I'll mark 7.5 here like this. And then remember these 2 inches. I'm going to bring that 2 inches back into my pattern. Just don't forget that, or else if you forget it, that pattern is going to, it's not just going to work. So and then I'll add my allowance. So from that point, I'm going to connect it like this. I'll just connect this. And then the next measurement we want to add is the waist measurement. So for the waist measurement, we're using 32. So 32 divided by 4, we have 8 inches. So I'm going to mark 8 inches like this. And then check my dart here. I'll bring that back into my pattern, which is like 2 inches. And then now I'm going to add my stitching allowance, okay? So I'll add that 2 inches into that part, and then I'm just going to connect it like this. So this is everything we need. So before we cut this off, I want to tighten the top part of my chest area. Okay, so to tighten that chest part area, so I can decide to take out 1 inch from here, which is going to make that part, or I'll take out 0.65, I'll take out half of an inch. So it totally depends on how much tightness you want around the chest area, okay? So for this, let's take out half of an inch. So from both sides, I'll just mark it that way. So you can see it's a very simple process. So this is like 0 point, like this is quarter of an inch, okay? Yes, so at the end of it, everything that I'm taking out is about half of an inch. So you can see I'm placing my curve like this. So of course I need to blend that so you can see. And then after that, on this side also, I'll tighten this part also and then cut it out. So at the end of the day, now this is everything that I'm going to be cutting out, okay? And then this ones. So basically we are done. So like I said, I'm going to use the front now to cut out the back just to save our time. So when I place them like this on my pattern, I'll just make sure that I have 2 inches, which is on my allowance, you can see. So make sure you have 2 inches for your allowance, and then just mark that on your pattern, connect that on your pattern. And then the next thing you are going to mark on your pattern is your dart line, okay? So to mark your dart line, what you are going to do, you can just trace it like this from the top, just follow the line like this, and then from the down you follow that. So after that, what I'm going to do now, I'll use my, yes, I'll connect the lines together like this, okay? Yes, after connecting that, I know that I have my dart line. So for the dart line, I'm going to determine how much I want to take out for my back dart. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'll come to my waist measurement. That's my under bust measurement, which is 13. I'm just going to mark that and then just place all of my lines back on this pattern, okay? So that's my under bust measurement. This is my bust measurement. And then this is my half cut measurement. So after placing that, I'm just going to connect, just like rule all of the lines out So I'll roll all of them out, okay? And then from this point, I'm going to see my line have been. So from this point, I'm going to take out just 1 inch for my back dart, okay? So for me to take out 1 inch from my back dart, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come to this point like this, and then I'll mark half of an inch here, and then half of an inch here, okay? So that half of an inch here is what I'm going to do. So most times this dart, most times I usually like running my dart from the top. That's the once I mark that half of an inch here, half of an inch here, I'll run it from here, from the top. I always like my dart, let it come from top to bottom for my back piece, okay? So if you have questions, you guys can ask your questions, okay? So after that, I am going to place this back, and then I'm going to use the frame just to cut out my piece, okay? Yes. So I'll place this and then just cut. So I have my back piece. So can you guys see my back piece? So I'll keep my back piece on the side. Okay. So for this back piece here, you can, for this part now, you can determine how much boning chambers you want to put. So definitely one boning chamber is going to be here, and then most times you can put another one close to this zip part. Okay. So for the front one, we're going to cut out our front piece. So before we cut out our front piece, I just want to check out my boning chambers again so that I will know exactly how it looks like, because I want it to be exact, okay? So you can see we have just like about three for this piece. And those three, they came from this. We have one at the center, and then at this that point, okay? So that for what I see here, we're going to determine that on the fabric, so there's no point adding it to the pattern. So I'm going to cut this out now. So now the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to transfer this on our fabric, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do now, let's cut the back piece out. So I'll just take any of my fabric, and then I'll place this like this. I will cut out my back piece like this, okay? So you can see how I am cutting it. So the next thing, I'll open my dart, sorry, my zip, my back zip, my zip allowance. I'm just going to open that. So most times once you are doing half cuts, you are not really scared of the zipper bulging out, okay? So I'll keep that, and then now we're going to cut out our front piece. So for the front piece, I'm going to place this like this. So depends on the boning chambers that you are using. Since I'm not using the allowance to do my boning, so I really don't need to add so much to my piece, okay? I'm going to be creating an external boning chambers for it. So I'll cut this out like this. Once I'm cutting, I'm just going to add just like a little bit of allowance to it, which is okay. So I've cut that out. And then the next thing now, this is for the side. Okay. So now I've cut this out. So the first thing you are going to do, we're going to join this. So before we join this, I'm going to determine where I want my boning to be. So one is going to be here, like this. It's going to be at the center. And then the next one, I'm trying to check. And then the next one, so, okay, this one is like a simple. And then the next one is going to be here, like this. So I'm just trying to do exactly what is there. And then the next one is going to be here on the side like this. So I'll just mark it, okay? And then the other one also is going to be here like this, okay? Okay. So now I've added those three. And then for the side, so for this side, you can decide to add however you want, okay? So you can add it however you want to add it. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to stitch and then create our boning chambers. So I'll just keep all of this and then get all of my fabrics that I've cut out, okay? Because it is an internal one. I'm just trying to get all of my all these ones are my small, 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 half bone that I used to cut off. So today they are going to work. So let me place it that way, and then we are going to go over to the machine now, and we're going to start stitching. Okay. So I'll just place all these ones. I'm trying to just pick them. So the first one, let's join the back piece first. So I'll keep this front piece here. So you just, so at this point you want to cut your lining, just cut everything the same, and then after cutting everything the same, you create out. Okay. So like I said, for the back, so it depends on where you want to put your bones, you understand? So you can decide to put one here like this and then put the other one. Most times it's always good to put it just close to the zip allowance point like this, okay? So we're not going to use the front, we're not going to use the back, we're going to use the front for we're going to use the front to demonstrate the boning part. So let's just stitch the back. So for those of you that are just joining me, you're welcome. So guys, so you can drop you can just let me know where you're watching me from. Okay. Olayinka, thank you so much. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for engaging. Okay. So now you can see this is our back piece. Okay. So let's keep the back piece on the side, and now let's go straight into our tutorial for today. So the next thing we're going to do now, let's stitch. Okay. Let's stitch. So let's join them together. So this kind of bustier, very easy to sew. And from this bustier, you can, I think one of these days, I'm going to show you guys how to adapt a bustier like this into a corset pattern. That's your basic bustier like this, how to turn it into a corset. It's a simple process. So I'm just going to show you guys how to do it. Okay. So now after that, the next thing, I'm going to stitch the other side. I'm going to add this other side to it like this. So I'll just navigate the curve nicely. Winifred, thank you. You're welcome. Good evening. Good evening. Okay. So now we are done. So you guys know that this bustier pattern is like a very beautiful bustier pattern. Okay, Samade, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. Okay, so now let's stitch our boning. I've even forgotten what did I use to title this my video. Is it external boning or internal boning? Somebody should please let me remind me if I should do external boning or internal boning. I'm trying to check it. It's internal boning. At the end of the day, now I'm not thinking I should have done external. Okay, so guys, for those of you that are here today, yes, good to be here. So what we are going to do, I'm going to do, okay, internal. Okay, thank you so much. So I'm going to do internal and external. Okay, yes, let's do it that way. So what I'll do, this one here like this, let's do internal. Internal boning is like the simplest and easiest boning. I don't even know why I opted for that. That one is very simple and easy. Okay, so I'm just trying to remark my lines. Okay, initially I thought it was external, so since it's internal, when we're dealing with internal, everything we're going to do, we're just going to do it inside like this. So now let's do this middle ones, let's do it internal, and it is a simple process. So you take your piece like this piece of fabric. You can see my piece of fabric is about 1.5 inches. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, so for this I actually did not change my thread, so I want to, I deliberately did it that way so you guys will be able to see. So you can see how I took the piece, I cut it 1.5 inches, and then I'm going to place it here like this. So you can see I'm placing it on the side. Okay, can you see? So I'm going to stitch down like this. So this one is for the one that is at the center. Okay, so I'll stitch that like that. It's a simple process. Those of you that are afraid of boning, people should not be afraid again. So today I'm going to show you guys the process so you can see. So after stitching it like this, see, since it is internal, even if it is external, it's still like the same process. So you can see, you see, you see what I'm doing. So you are going to like flip this. Okay, you flip it over. So for this, you can determine, you can use your boning. So it depends on the boning that you are using. You understand? You can use it as to like measure. Okay, you can use it to measure. Can you see? So if I'm going to use this to measure, I'll just take this like this and then flip it like this. Okay, so when I do it like this and flip it, I'll pull this out. So now I know that if I use this, if I use like this to stitch it, can you guys see how I flipped it? So I'm going to do another one and then I'm going to start stitching like this. Okay, so you can see, just like bend. If you cannot see, please let me know. You understand? So just like bend the, and it's like my hand got bent in one part, and that bend so can affect, it can really affect your boning. By the time you want to push it in, my leg was still on the pedal. It was just flying and going. Okay, so you can see, so you see how the outside, how it looks like. So on a normal day now, if you had used the matching thread, you see the lines. So you just see lines, and then when you put your, you can see how simple it is. You see. So that was why I used this thread so that people will see it. So now let's do the second one. Okay. So for this now, this one that is going to the side, you are just going to take, you take this one now like this and you bend it. You understand? You are not putting it straight though. You bend it like this, just place it like this. Okay, and then on the edge also we are going to stitch. So just follow, you have already made your lines out already. So since you've made your lines, you are the one that will determine your lines. Since you have already made your lines, you will just stitch. Okay, so you stitch like that. When you stitch it now, just the same way, the same process we did, that is what we are going to use. Okay, so after doing this, you are just going to turn it like this. Can you see? And then you fold like this. See, just fold like this. You see, you fold it down. When you fold it down, you secure it. You now use this one to secure it. You now secure it down. Okay, so when you are doing this, make sure that it is straight, because if it is not straight on the outside, on the outside, your work is going to look very rough. You understand? So you make sure that your hands are very straight when doing this. As a beginner, so help me, like, so help me. So you are going to just like secure it like this. So these ones are easy. So you guys can see, and this same thing that I'm doing here now, that I'm doing inside now. If you want to do an external boning, that's what you will do. You understand? Then if you want to do the one that they case, that one I'm going to bring it up in, maybe in another upcoming class, that will have to, like what you used to sew, like sew all these transparent corsets. You understand? Yes, the boning is going to enter into this chamber. After it has entered into this chamber, you now turn with your lining, okay? Yes. It is, it's not this external one, you are not, you are stitching it, you stitch it on the, you are not stitching it on the, what do you call it? You stitch it from the inside. So the only thing that you are going to see outside is the lines. It's just the line, just like what we have here. That's what you will see. Okay. It's like my thread are finished from the under. I hope I have a matching thread because but whatever my life. Help me. Help me. This is like the closest color that I have. I don't have, I cannot start rolling thread in a live stream. Okay. So let's just continue with what we have. So for this, there are some people that they would like, they don't want their boning to show. So if you want to do another way again, if you want to do an external boning, an internal boning, and you don't want it to show, like what I'm doing now, if you don't want it to show on, to show at all, you can do it on the lining. But most times, the truth of the matter is that those ones that you do on the lining, like some mother you were asking, it will not I don't know how to say it. It does not really have that thick effect. That's just the truth, okay? So it does not really have that strong effect. So it's just going to be there, but so the best way is for you to let it show on your, let the lines show. This one is like I have. So the next thing, the same thing, the same process. I'm just bending it like this. Okay. So for this kind of boning, this type of boning, most times what they normally use is the plastic boning. You understand? Because it's not going to interfere with your, it's not going to interfere with your dress, it's not going to interfere with anything because you're actually not stitching it down. You understand? The boning does not have any business, it does not actually have any business with what you are doing. You see, can you see how it is looking? So you see all of your lines. Boning does not really have, so just imagine if you, if I had used the matching thread now, everything is just going to be inside, it's not going to show. Okay. So let's do side more. So you are just going to check this. So for this, so when it comes to boning, you can play, you can actually play around with it however you want to play with it. So that's the truth. It does not really have any way of doing it. Okay. Yes. It does not have any way of doing it. So you are the one that will determine, that will just play around it. Just play with it however you want to play with it, okay? All right. So after that, most times once you do this, the best way, always turn your dress or whatever, always flip them over. So it makes it easier for you to be able to stitch it down. Don't try to do it from that same top part. Most times if you do it like that, it will be difficult for you, okay? So just, So let's do the last one now, and then we will couple our dress. So we are almost done. So at this point now, once you have done this, most times the next thing you are going to do, you can now turn with your lining. Okay, yes, you can now turn with your lining, and then you continue your, or whatever you do, just make sure that your hands are straight. That's just the beginning and the end when it comes to sewing, stitching, boning. Okay, it's this same pattern that I'm doing. You can, so like I was saying, you can still do it on your lining piece. Okay, but if you do it on your lining piece, it's not going to give you that really strong boning effect. Okay, yes, it's not going to give you that strong boning effect, but it's going to be there and it's going to be hidden. You understand? You know those ones that you are not going to see it at all. It's not going to show. It's not going. The lines will not show. Nothing will show. Okay. So the next thing I want to do now. So I'm just trying to like. So I'll cut this off. So I'll place. I'm trying to let me plug my pressing iron, and then let's just iron it down. Okay. So now let's see. So okay. So I'm trying to iron my piece. So at this point now, you use your steam iron. You understand? Let me, yes. You use your steam iron. Iron everything down neatly. Ooh, my iron is not hot. And I was pressing the steam. So my iron was not very hot. And I was busy pressing the steam. So it's now, you can see it's now that the thing is steaming. Chioma, you want to join the live? What do you mean that you don't know how to join? You're already inside the live now. Are you not inside already? Which other live are you talking about? This is our live class now. Or you can send me a voice note on WhatsApp. Explain to me what you mean, okay? So guys, at this point, like I said, at this point you need to iron as in give it a good press. Use your hand, everything to press it down. If not, because if you not do it like that, it's going to like most times when you do all this, it's going to press the bust, you understand? So you need to iron it very well. So I'm trying to dry it. I think that's what I'm trying to do. That's why this is like it's taking a while. Okay. I'm almost done. It's almost dry. And then you guys are going to see that it looks like what we have on that picture. Okay. So like I said, as in case you want to make that same dress, just follow this tutorial exactly, and you will be able to make it. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to achieve. As I'm trying to do it, let it be exactly. Okay, so now I think we're good. I can turn off my pressing iron. So now at this point now you want to trim everything. Okay, make sure you trim and hold check, everything check. Can you see? I just want you guys to see. So let's drop this guy on the floor before it to come and burn my hand. So now let me adjust this up so that you people can see. So for the neckline, at this point now, if I want to add my neckline, I can add the neckline. So it's easier for you to do it this way. Okay, so if I want to add, if you notice what was there is a V neckline. So what I would do, I always use like my 3, and then remember we use 6 inches, so it depends. So I can just use 7 inches to like mark that, and then just place it like this together and just create my V. And then that V, after creating it like this, hmm, I will just like from that neckline like that, this goes into my armhole like this. Okay, I'm trying to cut it. Okay, so you can see what we have. So at the end of the day, just blend this part down for my armhole area. Okay, and then so let's see. Let's see. We have a long question. Okay, Choma. Okay, so what you will do, Choma? Just hold on. Just keep watching. Just keep watching after the class, after this live class. So what you will do, just watch and understand what we are doing. Do you understand? Then after the class, so that you all the questions, everything, you'll be familiar with them. Then after the class, you can rewatch the video. So at that point, when you are rewatching the video, you are not going to see anything on your screen. Okay, so that's it. Catherine, you're welcome. So this is our plastic boning. Can you see? So for this plastic boning, I don't want to cut that one. I'm just going to look for short ones. And these ones are the ones I've been cutting. So you can see. So for this kind of boning, this is what you need. You understand? So when you are placing it, make sure it is like half of an inch below. That's from the neckline, half of an inch, and from the down, half of an inch. Okay. So with that, it will be able to it will enter properly. So can you see? So when you place it, you see how it is sitting nicely. So I'll just keep looking for all of my small boning. So this one now I'm using plastic. Why am I using plastic? Because I did an internal boning chamber. So with this one, I'm not going to have any conflict, as in saying I want to stitch it this. That one will not come to play here. Okay, so let's cut this one. So you can see all of them. I've been using them. So this one, let's use this one for this side. So and this was what I was saying. You can see if I want to use this now, you can see. So you see where it got to. So what I'm going to do now, from this point like that, you can see 1/4 inch. So I'm going to cut this one. You understand? So it's not going to, so it will not get to that, it will not get to the end. So can you see? You see the way our piece is taking shape. You see it's standing well. Okay. Okay. You said the message was healthy revealing. So after that, so let's try. This one is regelling boning. So most times, if you are doing internal boning like this, I really don't. Regelling, regelling is just going to be there. So you can see, you see how bulky this part is. That was what was used on that original one. You see, it will now bring out those lines. It will now like project it out. Okay. So, but if you are using regelling, because regelling is not really thick, it's not really thick, it's just going to be there. You see the side now is laying flat. That's in what I mean by flat, like it's not pumping out. I don't know how to explain it. I hope you people that are watching, you people will understand what I'm trying to say. I don't know the grammar to use to like describe it. Okay. And it's like on that side self, there's a little bit of an issue. So most times when you come across all these kind of issues when you are working, you can always trim. That's the good thing with this one. You understand? That's the good thing with regelling. You can always trim, you can sew, you can whatever. Okay. Okay, so you can see. So my regelling has entered. That's the beauty with it. But this was what I was trying to like. This was what I was trying to like tell you guys. You can see this middle. You see the side. Okay, thank you, Ojo. So you can see the side, but you can see this. You can see the way it is standing already. Hmm? You can see. That's the beauty of this. So although all of those what do you call it? What do we call it? All of those this one that is trending now on the internet, overbust corset. Can you see? Is this one not, is it not standing already like an overbust? Can you see? This is just like a rough work. Oh. So with this, you'll be able to make those overbust corset. Just use the same pattern. You understand? Use the same pattern. Do all of your boning. Make sure all of your boning like this. Add all of them. Just draft them. As in after drafting your bustier pattern, just create all of your chambers and then sew it the way I did this one. And then after sewing, you guys can see now. It's looking like those overbust corset already. You see it? And this is like a lining piece, so this is not my actual fabric. Just imagine that this is actual, I'm using this as, I'm using actual fabric like ankara that is thick, and then adding everything like this, and then placing all of my plastic boning like this. You see, it's going to stand perfectly well. So I just want to show you people that this thing, they are not big deals. Do you understand? So with this, you should be able to do an over bust corset. You can see even this pattern that we did tonight, you can use it as an for an over bust corset. Can you see? You can see. Can you see? So I'm just trying to. Can you see? I'm trying to place it very well. So by the time you put all your plastic bone in, just imagine, we on the side we added regelling. All here now add plastic bone in. on that one, if you are doing an overbust, this your that line like this, you add bone into it. Follow the same process. So by the time you add all of this boning, you see your corset is just standing. You understand? Your bustier is just standing. So this line now, this our that line, you know we did not put this same thing we did here. Do it here and then do it here on this bust line also. So you can see your over bust corset is set. So I think with this said, maybe tomorrow we're going to do that. Okay, I don't know yet. Maybe tomorrow or next tomorrow. I think I will do a tutorial on that. Let's just do it. You understand? Let's just do an overbust like this, sew it, and then crease our internal boning chambers like this to create it, and then see how it comes out. Okay? Yes, I think we'll do that. Okay. So guys, let me see. It for me, Rachel, for me, it is best to fix your boning chambers on your fabric. You understand? If you are like all of those overbust corsets, you see the boning chambers are actually fixed on the fabric piece. So when you fix it on your fabric, it gives it that more stability than on the lining. So for me, personally, I don't even do that lining one, except the customer insists that I should use what do you call it, except the customer is insisting that I should do add that they don't want the boning to show, the lines to show, and so that's when I'll use lining. But me personally, it's on the fabric now. Okay, so let's see some. Okay, my number. I can't really type my number now. So after the class, just come back to the chat, to the video. I'm going to drop my number. I'll pin it on top. Second, is it a must to create your neckline after fixing your? No, 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 no. It's not a must. No, no, no. You can create it. You can draft it from your pattern. Yes, you can draft it from your pattern. Adia, Rebecca, thank you so much. Thank you. All right, Irene. Okay, what time? All our online, all of our, what do you call it? Live classes are usually after 7, like 10 minutes past 7. We'll start. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's see. Helen, good evening, ma. Which type of boning is best for best quality to use? So it depends on you. So like I said this evening, I was showing you guys the different boning, their effect on what we made. So you can see, you see. This one, this middle part, we actually use plastic boning. So plastic boning, they used to stand more. If you are doing an internal boning like this, I will advise for you to use plastic boning. Like for all of this overbust corset that is trending now, use plastic boning. You understand? If you are doing an internal, because those overbust corset, there are two ways of actually sewing, making them. You can use this internal boning, and then you can do the other one, that external one that you stitch on top as you wrap, that we normally use for transparent corset. So you can do that one also. Okay. So but for this, if you want this, but if you are sewing normal dress, maybe normal ankara skirt and blouse, normal ankara or normal corset, you can use your normal regelling. So these are the two boning. This is the plastic one, and then this is our regelling. I'm trying to find. This is our regelling. You understand? So you can use either of these. But if you want to do something that is well structured, you can see this one. Like I was telling you guys, this one is just like a rough work that we did, and you can see the standing effect. You can see it is still standing because we use plastic boning for all of those front. Just imagine we did not add enough. Just imagine another one runs here, and then this two side is plastic. Is going to stand. So that is why I'm saying in our next class we're going to do an over bust corset. I'm just going to do it and how to place, use this internal boning to place it, and then let's see. You understand? So let's see the effect how it will be. So as beginners, when you follow that, you'll be able to sew it. Okay. Yes, so let's do that. All right, thank you. Okay, so can we put the sew on inside the chambers? Yes, now you can. Yes, of course. Now that's what I did. Now this one is the sewing one. You can see it. I put it inside the chambers. You can put it. It depends on what you. Yes, you can still do it like this and put it. This one is like very simple and easy. You can put it. Okay. So I'm just trying to read all of our messages. Okay. 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 All right, Irene, thank you so much. So guys, so let's call it a wrap for today. Okay, let's call it a wrap, and then I'll see you guys in my next class. You guys should just keep your notification turned on. So let's see. Let me see if I can pin it on our mannequin and see. Can you guys see that it looks like an overbust corset already? So I'm just trying to, because of the boning, the thing is really giving. So I'm just trying to like arrange it, let it stay down. Okay, can you guys see? You see that it's looking like an overbust already. It's a simple process. It's not any big deal. I'm just trying to. Can you guys see? So because of those boning, they are going. It's going to stand. You see. This, like I said, this is just a rough work. Oh. So next time when we're doing, we'll try and make it a little bit better. But once you follow this process, you will be able to do your own. So at the end, once you have gotten to this point, you are done already. The next thing is just for you to join the back and the front together, and you are good to go. So guys, let's call it a wrap for tonight, okay? So guys, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.